Let me ask you something. When was the last time you truly owned your day, not just survived it, not just dragged yourself through it, but owned it, like your future depended on it? Because guess what? Let's talk about the first 8 hours of your day, the hours that most people give away carelessly, without even realizing they're trading gold for dust. These hours aren't just the beginning of your day. They're the beginning. The way you start your morning is not just a habit, it's a declaration. It says to the world and to you are and what you're about. If you roll out of bed already defeated, already late, already drowning in stress, then that energy follows you. It seeps into your decisions, your conversations, your confidence. But when you calm your morning with intention, the day bends to your authority. So many people wait for motivation to show up. They think they need to feel good to take action. That's backwards. Oh, discipline doesn't wait for feelings. It moves anyway. And the secret? Once you start moving, the energy follows. When you open your eyes and choose to stretch, breathe, hydrate, pray, read, whatever centers you, you are reminding your body and mind. I'm in control. Before the world throws its noise at you, before emails, news, and notifications start firing, you set the tone. You anchor your soul, and that quiet strength carries you through the chaos that will inevitably come. And now I know it's easier said than done. Life pulls at you from every direction. Kids need breakfast. The job won't wait. Traffic is a beast. But what if I told you that waking up 1 hour earlier could change everything? That sacrificing just 60 minutes of sleep could gain you years of clarity, peace. That 1 hour before the demands of the world hit is your sacred space to invest in you, your mind, your goals, your spirit. You don't need 5 hours and then need 1 solid hour of focus. No distractions, no guilt, just you pouring into your own cup. And here's what happens when you do that consistently. You stop living on defense. You stop reacting to life and start creating it. You walk into your work, your relationships, your challenges with a strength that's already been forged in the fire of your morning rituals. You stop shrinking. You start expanding. And no, not every morning will be perfect. You'll miss some. You'll snooze some. But when the rhythm becomes a lifestyle, the momentum becomes unstoppable. Progress compounds. And one day, you'll look back and realize you're not the same person you were when you started. This is how high performers live. This is how visionaries stay grounded. It's not about doing more. It's about doing what matters first. It's about aligning with your purpose before you align with your schedule. So ask yourself, what would your life look like if you stopped treating your mornings like an afterthought? What if you used them to prepare your inner world before stepping into the outer one? The books you haven't read, the journal you haven't written in, the thoughts you haven't explored, those live in the quiet hours. And in those hours, the real you starts to rise. Don't let society rush you into a day you haven't even chosen. Don't wake up and immediately hand your piece over to a screen, a timeline, or someone else's drama. You deserve better. You were made for more. Mornings are not a race. They are a return to your clarity, your discipline, your divine design. The first 8 hours of your day are a blueprint. Use them wisely, and they will build a life that not only works, but awakens. This is your power, and it starts before the sun is even up. The second set of 8 hours in your day is where the magic of productivity, purpose, and personal excellence either rises or collapses. These aren't just work hours, and they're the core of your output, your energy investment, and your alignment with why you're here in the first place. Too many people drag themselves through this part of the day. It's a sentence, not a season. They clock in with their body, but check out with their mind. They treat these hours like a burden instead of the blessing they are. But when you shift your perspective, when you start to see this block of time as sacred ground for building your vision, everything begins to change. Whether you're an entrepreneur, a student, a parent, or working a 9-to-5, this is your creation zone. These are the hours where your name is being written into history or erased through distraction. This is where your dreams go from imagination to manifestation. And that doesn't mean you have to be doing something flashy or public. It means showing up to your work, whatever that looks like, with excellence, with integrity, with pride. If you're making coffee, make it with love. If you're leading meetings, lead with clarity. If you're chasing a dream after work hours, then chase like your future depends on it, because it does. Let's be real. Not everyone is doing what they love. Not everyone wakes up excited about their current job or situation. But here's the secret. You don't have to love it to grow from it. Sometimes the season you hate is the one that's preparing you for the one you prayed for. The grind, the pressure, the repetition, it's not punishment, it's preparation. It's teaching you patience, humility, endurance, and focus. Use these hours not just to perform, but to develop your skills, your voice, your discipline, because nothing is wasted when you work with intention. And if you are blessed to be walking in your passion, to be building something that feels aligned with your soul, then protect that fire. Don't let burnout sneak in through poor boundaries. Don't let comparison steal your joy. Don't dilute your gift just to fit a mold that was never made for you. Pour yourself fully into your calling, but pace yourself. Quality over quantity. Purpose over popularity. These hours aren't about doing everything. They're about doing what matters most. About saying no to distractions so you can say yes to destiny. Now let's talk about energy. These hours require a different level of mental, emotional, and physical energy. And the truth is, energy doesn't come from caffeine or motivation. It comes from alignment, from being clear about why you're doing what you're doing. You've got to stay connected to your why, because when things get hard, and they will, that why becomes your fuel. It reminds you that this isn't just about money or status. It's about becoming. So manage your energy like it's currency. Be intentional about your meetings, your meals, your breaks, your conversations, because your energy is your edge. Most people let these hours blur by in a fog of busyness, but not you. You're being called to own them, to show up differently, to work with your whole heart, not half your effort. And when you treat this second 8 with the respect it deserves. When you elevate your effort, your mindset, your focus, you begin to outgrow the limits that once held you. Yes, this is where legacies are written. Not in grand gestures, but in the daily discipline of showing up strong, focused, and faithful to the assignment on your life. The second 8 is not just about labor. It's about legacy. The final 8 hours of your day often go unnoticed, treated like leftovers after everything and everyone else has taken their share. But this time, this sacred space isn't the end of your day. It's the beginning of your restoration. It's the part of your 24 where you get to reclaim yourself. Not just unwind, but reset. Not just rest, but recover. Because no matter how hard you work or how powerful your vision is, if you don't learn how to protect your peace, your progress will collapse under the weight of your exhaustion. Peace is not a luxury. It's a requirement for longevity. These hours are where your soul exhales. After the meetings, the deadlines, the decisions, and the demands, this is where you put the pieces of yourself back together. But too often, we waste it. We numb it. We scroll through it. And we let the television think for us. Let the phone pacify us. Let social media distract us. But peace doesn't live in noise. It lives in presence. And if you want to live a life that feels whole, not just full, you have to start treating these hours as the most valuable ones of your day. Because while the first 8 sets your intention and the second 8 builds your impact, this third 8 preserves your spirit. You can't outrun burnout. You can't bypass breakdowns just by grinding harder. At some point, the body keeps score. The mind starts to close. The heart begins to harden. That's why these hours are sacred, because they're not just about sleep. They're about slowing down enough to listen to yourself, to your needs, to your breath, to the quiet truth you've in the noise of doing. This is the time to process, to forgive, to let go of what didn't go right, to release the tension of the day and choose grace over guilt. Because without peace, even your victories will feel empty. There's a reason. The most grounded, powerful people you know value rest like they value air. Because they understand. Rest is where clarity is born. Ideas breathe in stillness. Wisdom flows in the quiet. Your next breakthrough isn't hiding in your to-do list. It's waiting for you to get still enough to hear it. Use these hours to unplug from expectation and reconnect to intention. Talk to someone you love, laugh, eat slowly, walk without your phone, journal your thoughts. Pray, reflect. These aren't just soft habits. These are soul practices. They don't just prepare you for the next day, they prepare you for your next level. And yes, sleep matters. They focus on tasks, deadlines, and what's next. Without ever pausing to recognize that true productivity is not simply about doing more. It's about how you do what you do and the energy you bring into it. If you operate from a place of depletion, your results will reflect. It's wasted on things that don't move the needle. But when you respect your energy, by giving yourself the right environment, the right tools, and the right mindset, every hour becomes a building block for your success. The 8 + 8 + 8 system isn't just a structure. Now, let's talk about the most important part of this equation, mindset. If you think about your 8 plus 8 plus 8 structure, it's not just about time management. It's about mind management. Your thoughts, beliefs, and attitude are the driving forces behind your success.